Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. It is the 8th of February already? 8th of February, it's 11 o'clock. We do have a show today. We had two shows yesterday. I'm a little bit tired, I'm not going to lie. I didn't finish work on the stream till about 1 o'clock this morning, so it's been a bit of a quick turnaround, but I'm glad you could join us today. Remember, if you are dropping spam into chat on Binance, I am going to ban you. This is now working. So if you put any links to anything into chat, you will be banned from commenting. So please take this as your warning. RM Moni, you are here again. I know you don't understand me because you are a bot, but I will be banning you. And anybody that drops anything into chat that is spam is going to be banned. Lana has been banned. This is where we need a third member of the team to just go through here and start banning these people en masse. Okay, so let's begin. We're going to talk about quite a few interesting things today. Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy, lots of news coming out about them today. We're going to talk about Ag Layer and whether it can be applied to Bitcoin, which would be world-breaking. We're going to talk about some 2024 predictions from I don't know what you want to call them, a crypto influencer. So we're going to look at that. Pyth airdrop 2, there's going to be a second Pyth airdrop, and then we're going to look at some trials of some crypto criminals. And that is what we're going to go through today. Before all that, we will go through the markets and we will go through the X-Files and we will say hello to people in chat. Good morning, Kishan and Mags, Mohammed, Hidden Agendas. Welcome to the stream. Thank you all for coming. The question today is, are we going to break $45,000? We're not doing too bad, are we? 44,670. I did say, I don't know if it was Monday or Tuesday, I did say Bitcoin only holds a range for about 64 days before it makes a decision and moves. I told you maybe on Tuesday that we were at 64 days and we have moved up 2-3%. So I'm not predicting the future, but the patterns are there. Mags was a double loser yesterday. They lost the giveaway and they voted that Bitcoin wouldn't reach $44,000. Well, you know what, Mags? All I'll say to you is you never bet against the house. That's all I will say. At this stage of the bull market, the majority of people should be looking to long Bitcoin or at least accumulate at this range, because there will be some dips and they are buying opportunities. But we are in the position now where potentially we're never going to see these prices again. Are we ever going to see $25,000? Are we ever going to see $30,000 again for Bitcoin? Are those days gone? It's an interesting concept. So yeah. And another shout out to Mohammed. Mohammed, you have won the giveaway. The giveaway last night. There's a couple of people, I think there's 2 people who haven't given me their Solana wallet address, so I can give you your prize. You are one, and the other was Mike Brereton. He won. He messaged me somehow on Facebook and I've lost the message, so you have won as well if you are listening back to this. Good morning, Sehar. Good morning, Maywish. I can see the chat. It's great. I can actually see the chat. So if you do have any comments, feel free to comment in Binance. Feel free to comment in YouTube. I am now able to ban the spammers. And 6F, unfortunately, we are not going to permit those kind of comments. So I'm going to turn off your commenting as well. Please don't come in the chat and ask for money. Please don't come in the chat and put spam links or phishing links. I am going to ban you. There's going to be a zero tolerance approach from now on. If you come in and you spam, I will ban you. And it is as simple as that. We do not tolerate it. You are ruining the stream for everybody else. So, yeah. Kishan, you have mailed. I've got it. I will pay you after the stream. Right, we need to get a move on. So as we can see, the markets are up. We are over 1.7 trillion already. At this stage, we are over 1.7 trillion. Where could we possibly go? Some people say 6, some people say 10 trillion. Excuse me. I'd like to think we're going to get somewhere between 8 and 9 trillion, because that would be about a 5x from here. And I think a 5x from here for most people's wallets would be pretty much life-changing wealth. Volume is up just a tad. Bitcoin dominance has moved 0.2% in the last 24 hours. So it has shifted up. ETH dominance hasn't really moved an awful lot. As you can see, Bitcoin is at 44, just under 44.7. ETH is over 24. We're going to see some real gainers and losers today, I imagine. Dimension has recently been airdropped. That has pumped 27%. BitTorrent BTT is up 33%. I don't know why. I don't know why that's happened. I can go and have a look for tomorrow's stream. Casper is up. Stacks, Manta, Celestia, Cardano. Cardano is up. Cardano, the stable coin, is moving up 10%. Very nice. Say is up. We covered Say yesterday on the stream a little bit. We spoke about Audi recently. So there's lots of gainers in the last 24 hours. Are we going to see the stable coins in the bottom? We are indeed. And not much has dropped. Biggest loser is Pendle, but then Monero has recovered dramatically. When it dropped to $100, I predicted it would bounce back to $117. It did shoot up, retouch about 130, and then came back down again. Monero is the privacy coin that has been removed, or will be removed, sorry, on the 20th of February from Binance, so you will no longer be able to purchase Monero. I've made a video about it. And if you want to know more information about Monero and what happened and why I don't think it's good news for privacy coins in the long term, then you can find all the information on this video here. 8 minutes will show you everything you need to know about Monero. This is our channel. We are just under 3,500 subscribers, so we are growing rapidly. And in the bottom left-hand corner, you will see that we are at, well, just over 92,500 followers. We are closing in on it. So that's your markets for you. I'm hoping this push up continues, but we'll have a look at the Bitcoin chart very soon. Close some of these things down. When my mouse decides to work. Give me 1 second. There we go. Finally, it decides to work. Here we go. So these are some very quick comments. Solana, much last night, went on a bit of a tear. All the shorts on Solana got liquidated. It pushed us back up over $100. I wouldn't bet against Solana in the next few weeks. Even though we had the outage, I think the Jupiter momentum, the new Pi there drop, which is coming today, that's also something we need to look at. Are we going to see a Phantom airdrop? Phantom is, I think, the biggest Solana-based wallet. I've also made a video about what to do to make yourself eligible for a Phantom airdrop. So go and check out that video as well. So Phantom may be doing an airdrop, but with a lot of these things, it's speculation. It's not confirmed. We do not know for a fact that there is going to be a Phantom airdrop. So please bear that in mind. Any airdrops that we talk about on here, they're either unconfirmed or they are confirmed, but you need to take action. So Camino Finance, That has an airdrop that is going to go on over the next 4 quarters, January to March, April to June, etc. They're going to do an airdrop at the end of each quarter. I've made a video about that as well, explaining what you need to do. So make sure to check out that video as well. Don't have the time to go through everything on the live stream. Remember, we only have about 45 minutes and then we do the quiz. So we try not to fly through in great depth. We try and skim the surface and have a fairly full show. Elon Musk acquired Twitter for $44 billion. If he had bought Bitcoin instead, he would now have $94 billion. Here's how much money you'd have today if you purchased Bitcoin instead of these 7 items. Now, I quite like this. This tickled me. So the iPad mini. If you bought the iPad mini on November the 2nd, it would have cost, November the 2nd, 2012, it would have cost you 109 Bitcoin. Today, that would be worth $4.6 million. The iPhone 5, which came out in 2013, would have cost you 5.85 Bitcoin, which would be worth $250,000 today. That's a very expensive phone. Yeezys, I believe they're some kind of trainers. That would have cost you 1.59 Bitcoin. That would be worth $68,000 today. I don't think these trainers will have accumulated the value having held the Bitcoin though, however. This is the opportunity cost, by the way, that I think about all the time when I go to buy things. Should I buy this? Should I buy 400 Cardano? It's the decision that most people in crypto have to make. A Starbucks latte would have cost you 16.5 Bitcoin in 2011. That latte would have cost you $708,000 if you bought Bitcoin instead. The Amazon Echo, I think, no, there's 2 more to go. Let's see which one's exciting. We don't want a pressure cooker. Here we go. If you'd have bought the Google Glass in 2014, it would have cost you 3.36 Bitcoin, worth $148,000 today. So this just shows you the accumulation of value in Bitcoin over these periods of time. Obviously, the further back you go, the more expensive things are going to be. You know, in the future, when you start talking about Bitcoin in terms of Satoshis, 10,000 Satoshis today might buy you a coffee. In 10 years' time, what will that 10,000 Satoshis buy you? Will it buy you a bike? Will it buy you a phone? Will it buy you a second-hand car? Who knows? But it's just nice to look back, because looking back helps you when you want to look forward as well. That's something else to bear in mind, because we are in, you know, Satoshi built Bitcoin to work in a cyclical fashion. Every 4 years, there's the halving. Every 4 years, the supply is cut. Every 4 years, the demand increases. And it all comes together quite nicely to keep the price of Bitcoin rising. Now, one person, I believe this gentleman to be the greatest ever DCAer that has ever lived. And that is Michael Saylor. MicroStrategy's Bitcoin holdings, profits, that is, not holdings, profits are at $2.2 billion. And that's only with Bitcoin at $44,000. Just imagine how much money they will have made when Bitcoin hits $100,000, $200,000, $300,000. The average price he acquired them at was $31,225, costing them $5.9 billion, worth $8.1 billion. So in theory, if the price of Bitcoin 3x's, and this goes to $24 billion, they will have made $18 billion profit. That is some return. So they've got over 190,000 Bitcoin at the minute, and we did look at the ETFs a few days ago, and the ETFs, the new ETFs, have amassed nearly as many Bitcoin in a month that MicroStrategy have been amassing over the last couple of years. August 2020, in fact, they bought their first $250 million of Bitcoin, and they've bought, or they've DCA'd in, dollar cost averaged into Bitcoin 25 times over that period of time. So over 3.5 years, what's that? 42 months, they've bought Bitcoin 25 times. That's once every 6 weeks. Is that something like 8 weeks? No, 6 weeks, I think. MicroStrategy's Bitcoin holdings are worth 8.1. Everybody, we know all this. We know all this. So the average price for Bitcoin, according to the experts, of which I am clearly not one, is $87,000. That would give them an unrealized profit of $10 billion. Unrealized means that they still hold the asset. It becomes realized when they sell the asset for US dollars. So unrealized just means it's sitting there in the Bitcoin. Now, we don't need to go through the ins and outs of all of this because we know what Michael Saylor is trying to do. One thing they have launched, and this happened in the last 12 hours, and I'm probably not going to be able to find it, but I will have a quick look before we look at the Bitcoin chart. And that is let me have a look if he mentioned it on his account yesterday. So that was the holding. I don't know if it's mentioned. I'm surprised he didn't mention it. But basically, MicroStrategy are now going to become the first Bitcoin-centric development company in the world. And it was announced yesterday, but I can't see it on his page. But it was announced yesterday. So they're now going to go off and become Bitcoin experts, which is great because, again, although I like him in terms of Bitcoin, I don't like the way that he is a Bitcoin maxi. He doesn't see the benefit of any other cryptocurrency. He doesn't see the benefit of Ethereum. He doesn't see the benefit of Solana or Cardano or XRP. He just doesn't see it. Now, where are we with the price of Bitcoin? See, this is why I draw these overly simplistic charts. And as you know, I don't change these charts from 1 week to the next until they are broken. And as you can see, we entered the same range I was talking about. I've talked about this range probably since the end of December, maybe the beginning of January, who knows. But we've been in this range. We've touched, we've come down, we've touched, we've nearly touched, we've touched, we broke. This was the ETF. We came straight down, we broke underneath, and look where we are. Look where we are. We couldn't have drawn this chart any better. And if you don't believe me, go back over the last 3 weeks worth of my streams and you will find this chart drawn. I haven't changed it at all. In fact, I'm going to zoom in. Could I be any closer? We are out by, what's this? 44,822. 44,822. We're currently at 44,837. So a chart that I drew 4 weeks ago is accurate within $15. But again, it's not my chart exactly. It's just the chart that is, we've drawn based on fib levels, based on lots of other things, based on previous price history. So what do we need to do? Clearly, we need to do something like this. Now, the fib level here is 46,800. I am a terrible drawer. There we go. 46.8 we need to break. Or bounce off, come back down, find support, and then move up. Now, again, Bitcoin is acting very differently because of the ETF pressure. We've talked about this. We know that the Vanguard and Grayscale problems have happened, but that's now starting to die away. So we're now starting to see this accumulation of Bitcoin, and it's only going to gather momentum. Expect Bitcoin to go on to a bullish run. Remember, our price that we want to get to is all the way up here at I think it's about $55,000. That's the level we're aiming for. Now, we're not going to get there today. We're not going to get there tomorrow. But we are going to make a run at it. At some point, we're going to make a run of it. There is also, in previous bull cycles, there is a rule of thumb where you 4x the price of Bitcoin on the day of the halving. So if we were to be at 55,000 on April the 20th, April the 9th, then conservatively and based on history, you could say that Bitcoin is going to hit 220,000 at the end of the bull run. That is a possibility. So, if we were to hit it today, Bitcoin would be at 185,000. I think we'd all be happy with that. So, we're now in the end game. 66, 68 days to go. We're trying to break out. If we do, we do. If we don't, we don't. But I do think that breaking this level at 44,815, this is going to be our next challenge, if you like. And we are fighting away at it. We can look at it at any different time scale you want. I mean, what we're seeing is this. So we're probably going to see this, or we might see this and this. The RSI is not super overbought. It is coming up quite a lot on the daily. Weekly, it's quite high. 1 hour, reasonably high. 4 hour, topping out. So maybe we retrace from here, and maybe we come back down to maybe 44.5 again before we move up. So just bear in mind, the charts can tell us so much, the macro news can tell us so much, and we have to try and do our best to understand where we think it's going to go. But this line, we've had this line for at least the last 4 weeks. So Bitcoin is looking healthy. Now we're going to look at some news that nobody's really talking about. And that is to do, we mentioned the ag layer about a week ago. And the ag layer is, very simply put, it's an aggregation of chains. It aggregates them together and creates an aggregated pool of liquidity. So why is this important? Because the B2 network is Bitcoin, and Polygon is a layer 2 of Ethereum. So you could say that the B2 network is a layer 2 on Bitcoin, and they're going to connect the layer 2 on Bitcoin to the layer 2 on Ethereum. This is what makes my hairs stand on end when it comes to interoperability, cross-chain development, cross-chain liquidity. This is where we need to get to. We talk about the spider's web all the time. There are 20 or 30 spider's webs, and they're all independent, and they all do one thing, whether it be gaming or NFTs or DeFi, and they're all mishmashed. And what we need is a mesh to bring everything together, and Chainlink is one of those meshes. Pyth is one of those. The Graph is one of those. Data reporting, data sharing, moving assets across chains, and the ag layer by Polygon is just another one of these connectors that are going to bring the spider's webs together. So this is really exciting news. It might not look exciting right now, I will give you that, but this is the kind of stuff that we should be looking at and stuff you should have in your head moving forward. Rather than just talking about stuff that's in the past or stuff that's just launched, we should be covering the news of stuff that's going to be. And this is one of them. So the CDK is an open source code base for launching zero knowledge powered L2 chains. So it's flexible. We don't need to go into all of these waffly expressions. The B2 network will be an EVM compatible Bitcoin layer 2 solution. It will complete its first mission with the Polygon CDK, building a reliable and advanced Bitcoin ZK rollup. B2 Network also serves as the first Bitcoin DA layer, with the B2 Hub originating from its unique ZK proof verification method on Bitcoin. BT Hub empowers other rollups to submit DA proof and ZK proof verification commitments to Bitcoin, thus improving the security of the Layer 2 landscape, alleviating the burden on Bitcoin Layer 1. Big problem with Ethereum, big problem with Bitcoin is, of course, their transaction times. Transaction speeds are ridiculously slow. That's why Polygon, Optimism, Arbitrum exist, because they roll up all the transactions, bundle them together, and then put them onto Ethereum. We haven't got that for Bitcoin. We haven't got that in any great depth, and that is what they're going to allow them to do. At the same time, they will collaborate on the aggregation layer proposed by Polygon Labs. This will introduce a third paradigm in blockchain scaling, aggregation, combining the benefits of monolithic and modular designs by unifying liquidity through safe, near-instant atomic cross-chain transactions using ZK proofs, aimed at creating a seamless Web3 network experience, akin to operating on a single chain. This is exactly what I've just said. You don't need to know everything that I'm saying, you just need to understand that it's trying to connect all the individual blockchains together. And the aggregation layer it's changing the landscape of blockchain. It's not just a gimmick, it's going to make massive changes to blockchains. We don't need to read any more about that. But the B2 Hub will integrate with the aggregation layer, allowing the BT rollup and other rollups that connect to the B Hub to share liquidity with other Layer 1 or Layer 2 networks through the aggregation layer. This is what we want. And again, I have been saying it would be amazing to have multi-staking, or imagine a universe where you can natively deposit one Bitcoin. All right, let's not even go that far. Let's talk about Binance. So in Binance, imagine a future where you can deposit one Bitcoin on Binance, and Binance give you the option of what chain you want to stake that Bitcoin to, or you want to earn yield on that Bitcoin from. In that world, you could earn it from Cardano, you could earn it from Solana, you could earn it from Ethereum. The opportunities are endless. And it wouldn't just be earning in Bitcoin and converting to Ethereum. It would be earning in Ethereum or earning in Cardano or earning in Solana. Charles has talked about this in the past. There is a Layer 2 on Bitcoin talking about doing this right now. And they will use the power of the Bitcoin network to help secure other blockchains. Now, if all of that can get combined into the ag layer, it means you can earn 1, 2, 3, 4 yields on your Bitcoin just by holding it, depositing it safely on the native chain, and earning from the separate chains. You don't need to know the ins and outs of how it works. We haven't got time for that. But just know that's something. That's, if you think about it, Bitcoin is 50% of the value of all the other blockchains combined. But it's also the most secure. So if you can tap into that security and liquidity for other blockchains, and you allow those other blockchains to connect together, you have this incredible ability to help other blockchains, but also earn a yield from holding Bitcoin for doing that. So it's incredibly important. Now, we're going to go back and look at Matic. Again, we cover Matic quite a lot on here. I'm not going to say it's range bound, because it isn't. But it is moving in this nice kind of pattern. And now we're heading back up. And as you can see with these charts, again, I don't draw these charts. They're already here. I have extended it today. And this is just the fib levels. As you can see, we've come up. We are now stuck at this 83.5 cent line. Where would we go? Well, you just have to look back to realize where Matic is going to go next. There are 3 recent examples of where the price of Matic is going to go, and that is sitting at about 92.5 cents. So what's that? That's a 15%, 12% move, something like that. It's going to happen. It's done it in the past. It's come down and it's rebounded, it's rebounded, it's rebounded, it's going to rebound here. So Matic for me, anything under $1 for Matic for me, in my opinion, is a good price. I do think it could go anywhere from $3 to $5 to $7 in the bull run. I think in the previous bull run it hit $3, something like that. So I think Matic is one that you shouldn't shy away from. If you look at what happened with Optimism and Arbitrum in terms of their price pumping, because we've got the Denken upgrade on Ethereum, that's gone into the final stage of its testnet. Once that goes live, all of the fees get slashed across all the layer 2s on Ethereum. So Matic's fees will be cut, which means Matic will make more money. Optimism will make more money. Arbitrum will make more money. Once that happens and those chains become cheaper to use, the usage of those chains goes up. You can do more things on those chains because it costs less, and it just makes them more desirable. So for me, don't fade Matic. I've got it in 2 of my portfolios. Right, how are we doing for time? We are halfway through the articles, 15 minutes to go. Let me check chat. How are we doing for spam today? Spam is a little bit better, but still needs some work doing to it. So let's get the ban hammer out. So that user has been banned. This user is going to be banned. That's 2 more gone. Chauncey has gone. Binance F2 has gone. He's going to be banned. Okay. There we go. Okay, we've made a few small changes. Now I'm going to drop her box. Remember, I can now see your comments on Binance. So if you do have any comments you want to say, drop them. I'll be able to see them now. If you don't agree with me, or you've got other questions about chains or anything else like that, you can ask on YouTube, you can ask on Binance. There are no silly questions. There are no silly questions, but occasionally there will be silly answers. Okay, let's drop that. And Rick, who's one of, tells me that the next Binance launch pool token is Pixel. I'd probably make a video about that if I can find anything on it. Let's ban you as well. You're banned. So F2, you are banned. DeFi, you are banned. Don't put links in chat. Don't spam the chat with silly messages. Greyhound, guess what? You're banned as well. So there we go. I will ban everybody. I am quite happy to ban everybody. If you spam, I will ban you. It's the end of the road for spammers in this chat. They have taken over for too long, and it's just not acceptable. I cannot run a stream without being able to see people's comments and questions, so you are going to get banned. Anyway, I have dropped a box for you. Please accept that. And don't forget to smash the likes. The likes are fairly low today. We're on 7,000 likes. It's normally a lot higher by about now. So Bitcoin to 100,000, Ethereum to 8,000, and Cardano is dead, this executive predicts. Now, this isn't the first time I have seen this comment about Cardano. In fact, Anatoly from Solana was talking a few days ago, and he was saying that the way that Cardano build out, nothing will ever go live. And there's always been a bit of animosity between Cardano and Solana, mainly because Solana just came out and just did everything. It's a little bit flaky. It goes off from time to time. Cardano, on the other hand, is, you know, the proof of stake that they have is admired by every other chain. The community is admired by everybody other chain. And they just have a little set to every once in a while. It doesn't help the crypto community for them to do stuff like this. So, during a recent episode of the Wolf of All Streets podcast, Tom Dunleavy, partner and chief investment officer at MV Capital, projected that Bitcoin could hit 100,000. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Ethereum would also see 8,000. However, he also anticipates the top two currencies could lose market share to Sol as it rallies above $400. Now, some of these predictions, let me just go and ban this user as well. You are now banned as well, user 29. User 13, you are going to get banned. I need to find somebody to do this for me because it keeps interrupting the stream. Quibbly, thank you for your comment. Appreciate that. Hello, Bedraj, welcome to the stream. I am going to eventually slowly get rid of all these spammers in chat. It just takes a bit of time. Now, some of his predictions, I'm predicting for the end of the bull run, and he's predicting them for this year. So I think Solana could easily hit $500 in the bull run. George from CryptoZaros thinks it could hit $1,000 this year. And this gentleman thinks we can hit $400 this year. I'm not in that camp. I think if Bitcoin goes to 100,000 this year, then we're going to see one earth of a movement in the crypto sphere to get that to happen. He also cautioned that with only 4 instances to draw from, such predictions aren't highly reliable. Instead, the exec proposed a solid base of 2x increase for Bitcoin this year. That would put us at $88,000. Dunleavy further highlighted Bitcoin's significance as the largest settlement layer by economic weight, suggesting its potential expansion into DeFi. This evolution, he argued, is a logical step for the network. I wholeheartedly agree with this. I think the ability to earn a yield on Bitcoin is important for Bitcoin, not crucial for Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is a store of wealth like gold. But you've got to remember, gold isn't just a block that sits in your room and you look at it and it goes up in value over time. Gold is used in mobile phones. Gold is used in jewelry. Gold is used in art, in paint, in everything. So gold has multiple uses, and that increases demand. Now, gold isn't infinite, but it's also way more accessible than Bitcoin. There's only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin. They have just found all kinds of gold seams all through Africa. So gold isn't as rare as people are made to believe. The same way oil isn't as rare as people are made to believe. But that's for a different conversation on a different channel at a different time. So Bitcoin really is the scarcest asset on earth, and it will only ever get scarcer, because over time Bitcoin gets lost, people lose their keys. There's probably only ever going to be 17 million Bitcoin. 4 million Bitcoin is lost. 1 million of Satoshis is lost, plus another 3 million is probably going to be lost. So bear that in mind, that it is going to go way stratospheric. Ethereum is now deflationary. That could also go stratospheric. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. But I do think we are at a tipping point with crypto where when we get adoption, we're going to see prices that I'm not going to mention because I just think it's going to absolutely rip. Now, Dunleavy pointed to the Solana Sega mobile phone as a significant factor. The sellout of the second one, it says 60,000 here. I think they've actually sold 85,000 phones already. The Jupiter airdrop has also been creating a significant wealth. Remember, it's only a quarter of the way done. I've been saying this to you guys. The Jupiter airdrop happens every January for the next 4 years. January 24, January 25, January 26, January 27, they are doing their airdrops. If you transact on Solana, or you do anything on Solana, use Jupiter, because you will create a footprint. And next year, next January, you'll be able to claim an airdrop. Also, breaking news on Jupiter, they have announced the first 3 launch pools on Jupiter. So we all know by using Binance, if you hold BNB, you can put it into the Earn program and you can participate in the launch pool where you are airdropped tokens. Jupiter is doing the same thing, and Sharkify and 2 others are going to be the first 2 launch pools. If you vote you will get the airdrop. Not only that, you will get a percentage of the fees generated from the airdrop. It's massive. I cannot believe that Jupiter is 55 cents. It puts Jupiter at a $700 million market cap, yet it's doing a higher turnover than Uniswap. Now, I am going to digress because I really don't want to talk too much about the trials. I'd rather talk about this kind of stuff because it's more interesting and it adds more value to you. So if I give you Uniswap, and a lot of people have compared Jupiter to Uniswap, but Uniswap, it would help if I typed it correctly. Let's try again. Oh my days. Here we go. Okay, so Uniswap is valued at 3.8 billion. So it's 5 times the market cap of Jupiter. Jupiter does more volume than Uniswap. Jupiter has airdrops. Jupiter has a DAO. Jupiter has everything that Uniswap doesn't have. Because it's on a cheaper chain, it's better to use. Jupiter, better than Uniswap, and it's got a $700 million market cap. Where do you think Jupiter is going to go? I think conservatively, you should be looking at a $2 to $3 price for Jupiter. That's conservative. And that's not being moon boy, that's being... If you were to show me 2 businesses and say this business has a turnover of X and a profit of Y, and then you showed me a second business with a turnover of X2 and a profit of Y2, and you asked me to value both businesses based on those things, I would tell you to buy Jupiter because it has a higher turnover, higher profit, more usage, better technology, cheaper blockchain, and it's a 5th or a 6th of the price of its competitor. So as an investment, Jupiter is a better investment than Uniswap. That doesn't mean Uniswap is a bad product. And if you go back over the all-time high, where Uniswap was up at $30, is it going to get there again? I don't know whether Uniswap is going to get there again. Uniswap could very well do a 7x because remember, it makes more money the larger the market cap goes because it takes a percentage of your fees. So if you're transacting today, in 2 years' time, those transactions will be 5x and 10x the fees. So Uniswap will go up, will rise and fall with the market, like a boat sitting on a lake. Jupiter is going to do the same thing. Jupiter is better than Uniswap today. Jupiter will be better than Uniswap in 2 years' time. Do the math. I don't get paid by Jupiter, by the way. I got my airdrop. I have my tokens in Jupiter, but I'm not shilling them because I'm not paid to do that. I'm giving you my honest opinion. It's wholly undervalued. To not even be at 1 or 2 billion for the size of Jupiter is criminal, but we know why. I've covered it in different streams. So very quickly, we are going to go and look. Oh, no, actually, no, we need to finish this, don't we? So we've covered this. Ethereum, we know this. Cardano. This is the bit I wanted to get to. So this is the second hit piece on Cardano. And remember, when people talk negatively about things, what is the motivation behind that? What is the motivation behind Anatoly from Solana and an investment company both criticizing Cardano within 72 hours of each other? Why are they doing it? Because nobody's been criticizing it that much prior 6 months. So why are they doing it now? Are they trying to drive the price down to buy more? Because that happened with the ETFs. You look at BlackRock and Fidelity and Goldman Sachs, they were berating Bitcoin for years while they were buying it. So are they berating Cardano because it's not dead and it's going to go on a massive pump? So there's a very famous expression which is do as they do, not as they say. And I believe personally that people are criticizing Cardano to drive the price down. Anatoly is criticizing it because it's a competitor chain. And if you combine all those things together, it creates a negative landscape, which will suppress the price of Cardano. Why would an investment house possibly want to drive the price down of a product? It goes on in everyday life. It goes on. You watch Kramer, and Kramer will tell you that Nvidia is going to go through the floor, and everybody sells it apart from the big investment houses that will go out and buy Nvidia, and then next week it's 800% up. Why isn't Gary Gensler investigating Jim Cramer for these clearly false predictions? So don't listen to everything that is said about chains. I'm not listening. Cardano is not dead under any circumstances. If people don't want to work to Cardano's strategy, leave. That is Charles's mantra. And you know what? He's doing it his way. He's not really made any major mistakes in terms of development. It is slow. It is slow to develop on. I get that. But proof of stake works. The NFTs, the meme coins. There is more activity now than there's ever been on Cardano. It's not dead, and it's never going to be as dead as people make out. Now, Pyth, very quickly, there's going to be a new Pyth airdrop. Pyth did an airdrop in November. I sold all of mine. I would admit it. I bought 20 Sol with the Pyth. It was airdropped. That was a very wise move. I'm not selling my Jupiter airdrop, and I'm not sold my Wen airdrop, but Pyth was not something I wanted to hold. Pyth is like Chainlink, just not as built out yet. Pyth is going to be a great project. Pyth is probably going to do multiples in this bull run, but I always tell you guys not to hold too many tokens. Now, I'm going to make a video today about AI tokens. I've been holding three AI tokens all year, all of last year, and I'm going to sell one of them, and I'm going to tell you why in the video that I'm going to make later. And one of the reasons I sell tokens and get out is if I'm going to hold on to my Jupiter, if I'm going to hold on to a new token, then I remove tokens from what I hold. I don't keep, I don't want to have 40 tokens going into the bull run. Some people do. Some people have got 100 tokens, and that's their responsibility, their decision. I don't want to do that. I want to keep mine down to 15 to 20 tokens. And that is partly one of the reasons I sold Pyth, partly one of the reasons I sold my AI token. But I'm going to let you know, it's not one of the ones I've mentioned that often on the channel anyway, but I'm going to tell you. Now, this airdrop is not for you and I. This airdrop is for the dApps that operate on the chains and utilize Pyth. So this airdrop will be going to projects, not individuals. Either way, it's positive for the community because these tokens are now in the hands of dApps. These dApps can then incentivize you by giving them away, airdropping them to you. Some of the ones mentioned on here, Mango Markets, Jupiter, Solend, Ronan, these can give away the tokens to you as additional rewards. So it's good for the ecosystem. I'm glad that Pyth have done this, and I wish them all the success. Pyth is currently the 4th largest oracle by total value, so market share of 6%. This is up from 4.75%, so it is catching up, but don't forget, Chainlink is the top dog. Now, I don't have time to go through the chart of Pyth, I don't have time to do the trials. The trials were to do with Sam Bankman-Fried and Alex Mashinsky. I don't have the time for that today. It's not really groundbreaking news. You're not missing out by not having them. So what we will do is we will run the quiz for about 15 or 20 minutes. We'll bring up the Bitcoin chart while we do that. And then we will crack on. Now, remember, the question today was, are we going to hit $45,000 today? And the votes so far are 100% of people have said yes. Now, not 100% of people said yes yesterday when I said we we're going to hit 44,000. So you know, don't get me wrong, I'm not right all the time. In fact, I'm probably right 50% of the time, and I'm wrong 50% of the time. And most people are. One trick, by the way, that I need to let you in on, one trick that certain influencers do is they will make videos 2 or 3 times a day. And as they go through life, any predictions that they've made that are wrong, they will simply hide the video. So if they say Bitcoin is going to go to $25,000 in December, they'll hide the video. So they still get the traffic from it, they still get the revenue from what's been made up until that point. But if they're clearly wrong, they'll hide the video. It goes on. I don't agree with that. I've only ever hidden one video, and that was a video that I made about it was a meme coin actually, and it turned out to be a rug, so I pulled it down. Okay, let's get on with some quiz questions. Remember, if you are new here, all the answers are in lowercase unless specified otherwise. Now, it's great to see so much less spam in the chat on Binance. It's great to see. I can actually see people's comments, which is nice. There are a few people spamming, but not anywhere near at the volume that we have had. And remember, by the way, the crypto that we give away comes out of our pockets. So if you've liked what you've seen today, don't forget to give us a tip, because we are empty. We don't have any money left. We gave out double the amount we should have done last night. We gave away 11 prizes on the stream. Should have been 5. Don't know why I said 11. Oh no, we should have given away 6. We gave away 11. It was a moment of madness, so we are technically broke for the next week or two. So if you have got a spare 10, 20, 50 cents, $1, please send it this way. Now, first question. Now, I'm going to put both months with capital letters, so you need to type the answer in as it is typed on the screen. What is the Bitcoin halving? Remember, if you come here every day, you are going to see a collection of questions. Most of those questions you will already know the answer to, but this is not for you. This is for people that come to crypto. This is for people that are new and don't understand everything. And our job is to try and help people. Our job is to try and educate as best as we can. And we are only human, and we will get things wrong. And we know we're going to get things wrong, but we do it from a place of honesty rather than deception, if you know what I mean. So when is the Bitcoin halving? Is it in April or June? Type April or June with a capital A, capital J, and you are a winner. Plenty of people getting this right. Plenty of people getting this one right. You know what? For the first question of the day, that's not bad. 21 correct answers. I have banned the majority of people, so I'm not expecting everybody to be able to answer this question. War Master C is here. Congratulations. Crypto Seller, well done. Mags, Kishan, congratulations. Solo Sky, Amima, you are all winners. Congratulations. It's so nice to see the chat without the spam. How nice is that? Remember, answers have to be either as I've typed them or lowercase. If you put all in lowercase for the month or anything like that, you're not going to win. Okay, next question. Now remember, I am running out of SHIB, so I need to go and sell more crypto today, top up Binance and buy more SHIB. So this is a very light quiz today. Now let me think of some questions that you might not know. Okay, now remember, type the answer as I've put it in the question. And I haven't typed the name right, and I don't really care. You'll know who it is. So Anatoly Yavalenko. Is he connected to Solana or Cardano? We talked about him 6 or 7 minutes ago. Is Anatoly Yavalenko, is he part of the Cardano team? Is he the head of the Cardano team? Or is he Solana or Cardano? I'm not giving away Bitcoin. Do you know how difficult it is to give away Bitcoin? What you got to remember is I type in a number in the quiz and I put it in SHIB because I can count the SHIB. I can put in 1,000, 10,000, 15,000, whatever. If you want me to give away Bitcoin, I've got to type in 0.00001. And if I get that zero in the wrong place, instead of giving you $1, I'm giving you $10 for answering a question. That comes out of my pocket. I'm not paid by Binance. I'm not paid to make these streams. So just bear that in mind. That's why I don't give away Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana or anything like that. It's a coin with multiple decimal places in it. So SHIB is one, Pepe would be another, Bonk would be another. Those are the coins I give away. But I'm not going to give away Bitcoin, because if I get that zero and decimal place wrong, I've given you $10 or $100 for that question. And that's just not going to happen. So that is why. The answer is, of course, Solana. Congratulations to you all. The box disappeared. So poor Nida, just so you know, I am banning you. If you put spam into the chat, I will ban you. And there is no exception. You will be banned for the stream. I'm not going to tell you again. You can keep doing it. I am going to ban you. That is the end of it. Next question then. Let me think of something a bit more different then. Again, I'm going to shake it up today. Remember, type the answer as I have put it into the question. Jupiter then. We talked about Jupiter. We talked about the airdrop. You are joking me. Somebody is drilling. Right. We will call it quits in a minute then. So the Jupiter, is it on Solana or Ethereum? Type in Solana or Ethereum. Jupiter is a DEX, by the way. It's very recently done its launch. It had a claim, the Jupe tokens. They're doing it in January this year, next year, the year after, and the year after that. So 4 more years of airdrops on Jupiter. However, is it on the Solana or the Ethereum blockchain? I believe my neighbors are fitting air conditioning, which is why it is so noisy, or it will be so noisy in a minute. So 32 of you got that right. Best wishes for you. Congratulations, Frederick. Mahmood, cutie sweetie, well done. Gino Bar, War Master C, Kishan, Eagle Wings, well done to you all. What do you think? How much Bitcoin going high today? Right, we are at resistance. 44,800 is resistance. If we move up, we are targeting 46.8, but I don't think that's going to happen. We need to break this line, and then we need to move up and break 45,000. So I think we could be stuck here today, and if we do rip up, we will rip up to 46.8, sorry. So I mean, the RSI is getting quite high. So what should normally happen is we do this, which means we will do this, and then we will have another crack. But the issue with, I will have to get going in a minute, that I can't concentrate with that drilling in my background. So, right, I'm going to say goodbye. The drilling has started. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I will see you all in the morning. About 11 o'clock I'll be streaming from. I'm going to cut it short because that drilling isn't actually going to get any better. It's probably going to get worse. So I'm going to drop a comment to Winbox. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I will see you all in the morning. Take care. 1 minute. Let me drop this box. There we go. Right. Box is dropped for 5 minutes. I'm going to go. I hope you can't hear that drilling too much. Take care, everybody.